In today's video, we're going to be, of course, taking a big look at the tropics as we still have two tropical disturbances out there, a big jump from the 2 weeks or so of quietness that we've seen. You can see that we do have a 10% chance of development over the next 7 days here with this underneath one, 0% chance over the next 48 hours, so we do expect this to be kind of a long-term disturbance to watch. This next one as well over top is very, very similar. 0% chance over the next 48 hours and then a 30% chance over the next 7 days. So both of these have increasing chances over time with very, very low odds to nearly zero, obviously, over the next 2 days. So these are going to just be storms that we need to track. We're also going to be going over the upcoming storminess as there is a couple of systems moving through. Big temperature changes on the way as we go from a couple of big time cooldowns all the way into big warm-up territory over the next few days. So we're going to see that. So we'll be going over all of those things. But before we really dive into it, be sure to check out our other business, Prestige Weather, in the description and pinned comment down below. It's $5 a month. We have early access to our seasonal and monthly forecasts, as well as weekly consulting calls and other consulting services within our community. So be on the lookout for that, of course. Let's just jump into the model guidance here. And what we're going to see actually today is a huge bubble in this area here where we don't get that much activity actually. So let's just dive into it. It's a big change from what we've been experiencing. Certainly going to be a flip in a direction that we haven't seen in quite a while. Let's just dive into it. And as we can see by later this afternoon, and honestly this is ongoing, but we have a big time storm system rolling through the eastern United States, bringing chances at severe weather, especially for North Carolina and Virginia, but also surrounding states, especially the further south you go, South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama and Florida as well. But we can see showers and thunderstorms as a result of this all the way as far northward as New England as well. So certainly up and down the East Coast, this is going to be an impactful system today on Tuesday. By Wednesday the 16th here, we can see for the southeast, we see quite a bit of this activity here ongoing for Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and then also some showers and isolated thunderstorms here from the Ohio Valley into the Northeast again. So a pretty big system there. We do see a 987 millibar low pressure center there for southern Canada. This one is certainly going to bring impacts to Canada, but also some impacts to the northern United States. As you can see, by the time we're reaching Thursday, the 17th here, afternoon hour, we can see that the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Ohio Valley need to be on the lookout for a swinging cold front underneath this system that is going to bring impactful thunderstorms, cold front type situation there. Certainly going to be on the lookout for that. And by Friday, we see that this is bringing impacts to the Northeast as well. So for areas like New England, into the Northeast, to North Carolina, the rest of New England as well, definitely looking like a very, very interesting situation. By Saturday, August 19th, we could see things get a lot quieter here for the eastern United States. So really, really a lull in that activity. And any precipitation that we do see is actually here in the western states around the Rockies and the Four Corner states, which is definitely very, very interesting. By the time we reach Sunday here, the 20th, we see a very similar situation. Bit of a high pressure system parked right here, and this is really just creating a bubble of dryness, as you can see, for these areas. The southeast actually is kind of one of the exceptions here in the eastern states that continues to see activity. But outside of that, most of our activity, as you can see, is for a lot of the west here. So certainly seeing plenty of that going on out west. This is again Sunday the 20th. Monday the 21st here, we can see plenty of activity here for the northwest. So definitely for the kind of northwestern, Pacific Northwest areas through the Rockies and even into Canada there, western Canada, we're seeing a lot of activity. And then also the Gulf of Mexico is seeing plenty of activity here with thunderstorm activity. Definitely going to be an interesting situation down there. By the time we reach Tuesday, we do see a little bit of a wave of storms kind of moving into these deeper south areas like Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. If this will become tropical or not, only time will be able to tell, but we can tell outside of that area, it's really still dry in the east. Very, very quiet. Wednesday, August 23rd, very quiet again. We do see this little bit of a tropical or non-tropical area of thunderstorms impacting Texas and Louisiana still. Let's just take a look at Thursday here. And it looks like finally this activity wants to pick back up as we do have a 997 millibar low pressure center here that wants to bring some thunderstorm activity here along that cold front area. We're still seeing again that either tropical or non-tropical area of thunderstorms there for Texas, still ongoing. But that is the end of the model run, so let's take a look at the total precipitation. And as you can see, there is not a whole lot going on here for areas in the central United States. If you hear crashing outside, by the way, we are having a terrible thunderstorm here in Virginia, so ignore that, as I try to as well. I'm very excited, but I'm trying to ignore it as best as I can. We can see that for areas along the eastern and Gulf states there, we can see some thunderstorm activity has brought above average amounts of precipitation. And actually for the southwest as well, we're seeing above average activity, which has been kind of rare to come by. And then still this area near the border of Canada and the United States is still seeing above average activity there as well. But where is the below average precipitation? It's parked right here. As you can see, this is the driest area. Wells areas in Oregon and Washington there, but that's a little bit more of a smaller region. And we can tell that a lot of this activity is going to be moving around these bubbles for the most part. We are seeing my pen there lag a little bit. There we go. And we can tell that a lot of this activity is going to be moving like this, as we see a system move through there, or like this kind of up above, but really avoiding this area altogether. Anywhere in the whites is expecting practically no precipitation. Your grays are about 1/10 of an inch or less. Greens are 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. Blues are 1/2 an inch to an inch. Your yellows are 1 inch to 2 inches. Reds are 2 to 5 inches. And then your browns there, which we see some of that over the Bahamas, not really anywhere in the lower 48, but that is going to be 5 to 10 inches of precipitation. Now the temperature anomalies, we can see we're kind of in the midst of a lot of areas seeing below normal temperatures, certainly not the East Coast or Gulf Coast, so these areas here are going to be excluded. You're definitely not feeling this. But if you're more over the kind of Midwest, Plains, or Ohio Valley or Great Lakes, you might be feeling some below normal temperatures as we're continuing to see some Arctic bouts of air move down. There is this positive PNA still parked here, and this is encouraging cold air to dive southward continuously here. As we continue going with this, we see we get one more of these kind of Arctic bouts, as I've put it. But equally, as this is happening, we see a negative PNA, the opposite, developing here. And we already see it happening, but this is going to cause surging warm air to move in for probably all of the eastern 2/3. So let's see this develop, and sure enough, we quickly move into a pattern like I just described. So colder temperatures here along the west oftentimes means surging warmth into the central and eastern states, and sure enough, that's exactly what we see here by about the 20th, which has been the date I've been pinpointing. We do see an interesting flip, however, where things for a while there, as we approach September, do begin to warm here for a lot of the West Coast, re-entering us into that kind of positive PNA pattern, and we do see some cooler temps move into the east, but nothing significant at this point. Confidence may increase later on, and it may look more significant, but at this point, it's very, very hard to say. So we're going to have to watch and see and continue to track this. And the good news is we do upload every single day, so be sure to tune in with us daily as we'll continue to keep you guys up to date with all of these things, including the tropical activity, these temperature patterns, and the upcoming storms. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.